featuring people who aren't always what they seem. Intrigued, terrified, good, because this is Passed Away.
Welcome to Passed Away, a true crime podcast. I'm Cole Triplett.
My name's Jeffrey Anderson.
Thank you for listening. This is an audio-only format, so you may be on a run, on a flight.
Sure, maybe you're playing with your children while listening to a podcast.
Yeah, maybe you're roughhousing a bit with your younger brother, and you just need something to tune away his cries.
Sure, and I mean, whatever you are doing, you're almost definitely not at like a comedy theater watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's definitely. If you're at a comedy theater, take those earbuds out.
Yeah, because
pay some respect to people on stage.
Yeah.
As always, we're covering a grisly murder, Jeffrey, would you say?
I would say that, but I would say you saying grizzly that way makes it sound way less grisly.
Ooh,
like a vampire.
I'll take it.
Or it's just offensive to the deceased, maybe, you know.
That is a fact. And we'd like to say to our audience, if first-time listeners, we do have a chair on our right where guests will sort of come in and out and we'll interview them. They'll be related to the case we're talking about today. We're trying, in hopes of solving the case by the end of our time here.
Our goal.
That's our goal. Don't always hit it, do we, Jeffrey?
No,
what's our percentage success rate on the board? 14% success rate. We're gonna shoot for the stars today.
Yep.
We got a 1 in 10 point something shot of making it. And we also have a chair to our left, which is a little bit darker, and it will remain empty for the course of this episode because that's where the victim should be sitting.
And that's where they should be sitting. Had their life not been so horribly taken from them, they would be in that chair right now.
And it's quite possible that our guests should be sitting right there with us right now. They'd be fairly old.
Yeah, they would be fairly old, because this case, it kind of opened up because the murder occurred in the 1930s,
yes,
kind of a long time ago.
1932 to be exact, Jeff. This was a lawyer murder.
A lawyer murder, which is different from a regular murder.
Yes. Because with a lawyer murder, the prosecution is very, very sad that their friend has passed.
Yes.
And the defendants are very sad that they may have to defend someone who maybe killed their friend.
Yes, and the judge is no lawyers, so the judge is also very sad.
Yeah, they're also...
And they also only pick the saddest of jurors.
Right. Oh, are they sad, Jeffrey?
They're like, are you generally happy? And then if you say yes, they say you can go home.
You can head out of here.
Sad case.
Sad case. June 13th, 1932. It was a Friday the 13th.
It was. You can check that right now.
You can check that right now. Unless, of course, as we said, you're at a comedy show.
In which case you definitely should not.
Should not. Because the people on stage probably know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
June 13th, it was a stormy night, but not via rain.
No.
But a storm of locusts.
The locust descended upon
Wyoming.
The entire state.
It was the great locust migration of the 32s. And you may remember the Dust Bowl.
Sure, this is the less talked about Locust Bowl.
Locust Bowl.
And it was very interesting. And you don't hear about it because it did happen to Wyoming, who you don't hear about anyway.
We didn't already know about this locust storm because Jeffrey is a big locust nerd, knows all about it.
Big locust nerd.
Tell us that strange fact about that locust biology.
Yeah, did you know that locusts are the only mammal that also is an insect? And that's
Or you called them to my face a mammal sect.
a mammal sect. Well, that's kind of that's just what the biologists say.
That's what they say in science terms.
Sure.
Mammal sect. Well, that doesn't change the fact that someone did lose their life that night on June 13th.
Does not change it.
Harvey Milkstein was a lawyer, a prosecutor and defendant, a flip-flopper, if you will. He'd flip a coin to see what side of the case he'd take that day.
Yeah, which was always very difficult for the people that had hired him to defend them.
They would say, oh please defend me, and he'd catch it, he'd go, heads, I'm gonna fight you, I'm gonna make you go to jail.
There would be cases where there were two lawyers just trying to put one person in jail.
And no one defended.
No one defended.
But while Harvey Milkman was a bit of a flip-flop.
That's what his friends called him. It was Harvey Milkstein.
I get it confused with the profession of milkman.
Sure.
As you do. And he had his fair share of enemies, which is why it's really rough to put our finger on this, because he was locked up in the courthouse all day, couldn't leave because of that locust storm.
Yeah, it was messy. They'd have to wear kind of full hazmat suits and run to the courthouse. And
Harvey, in this case, there was no hazmat suit for him. He was an avid beekeeper, so he was wearing a beekeeper's outfit and, bolting to the courthouse.
Sure. Unfortunately, that was not locust grade protection.
Tore right through his mask. And coroners did find that it was not the locust that killed him.
Yeah, so he did die. He did die here. They ate through his mask.
Right.
And it was believed that the locusts just had their way with him.
But he didn't. The autopsy showed that the inside of the gloves he was wearing, his beekeeper uniform, there was no claw marks. And oftentimes they say if something breaks through that suit, you're gonna try to claw your way out.
Yeah.
Try to claw your way out of it.
And they did find that on the palms of his suit there was an adhesive that had been applied. So
yes.
It seems he had kind of tried to get out, but his hands were just glued to the suit.
Right. What the Wyoming coroner's office had to say was that it was someone meddling with the suit, perhaps, and also the 3 stab wounds in his back.
At first they thought these locusts have gotten real mean.
I've never seen a locust tear through so accurately.
Sure, or wield a knife.
Or wield a knife. Far too heavy for a locust to carry, wouldn't you say?
You would think that.
Oh, locust expert.
Locusts are the only mammals that can hold knives.
I guess chimpanzees, they can't hold knives.
No, they can't.
But as much as we'd like to single-handedly solve Harvey's case, we need to bring on our guests.
Yeah, maybe they can open up. We want to know what happened to him.
Right. So let's go ahead and bring on our first guest, and we'll chit-chat with him a bit. Hope it leads to something solving.
Yeah, they're gonna introduce themselves, and we're gonna go ahead and hit that applause button for them. Hello. Thank you for respecting the deceased's chair and not sitting there.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that chair. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Joe. I'm Joe Cream. And
Joe Cream.
Joe Cream. Yeah. I'm Joe Cream. And Harvey Milkstein.
There's a connection there.
It was my partner.
Oh my.
We were lawyers together. I'm very old. I'm 87.
Yeah, I can see that.
Very just tired.
So you were the ripe age of what's that, about 12? Whenever the murder happened.
Youngest lawyer in Wyoming.
Wow.
Youngest. No one younger than me in Wyoming was a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably because it's very hard to be a lawyer.
Well, you gotta pass the bar.
You passed the bar as a
Oh,
lawyer?
I passed that bar.
Wow, wonderful.
But yeah, we ran our firm, Milkstein and Cream, and that Wyoming town that we were in.
Yeah, the one.
The one. Well, back then, 1932, Wyoming,
It was
one town.
It was
One
also,
town.
it was kind of like Australia.
Wyoming,
Yeah.
Wyoming. Yeah, Australia.
Once you get to the outback, it's all one
Well,
town.
yeah, well, it was big news when we got an outback.
Oh, yeah.
Big banners everywhere. Australia's coming.
But, Joe, we're not here to talk about cheap beef. We're here to talk about
I love
Well, I'm happy.
I'm a Wyoming boy.
Again, Joe,
I mean, old man, I guess.
I couldn't be happier for you and your Wyoming beef. But getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Milstein and cream.
Right.
Best friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're on this podcast, hoping you can shed some more light on Harvey.
Podcast.
Yeah.
It's
like the radio.
It's the radio.
The heyday of radio.
Oh, we don't have time for the radio today.
It was glorious.
We're just trying to figure out, do you know or have any suspicion of someone who may have done this to Harvey?
Yeah.
I do. Back in the day, you know, you mentioned earlier, and I don't know how you found out if you wrote a book or something, but you mentioned earlier he flipped a coin, he catch the coin, he put the coin on his arm, he'd look at the coin, he'd say, prosecute.
Yeah.
Well, he did that to the wrong person.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're just saying it's straight, the anger boiled up.
I feel like possibly maybe it was one of the people he was supposed to defend
Okay.
that then maybe took out that aggression in some homicidal
which
way.
is probably earned because they're paying him to.
Oh, they paid him a lot of money.
Yeah,
$12
to
back
defend,
then.
to defend them.
Yeah,
And then he put them in jail.
he did put them in jail.
And
Yes.
he would pocket that
One
money,
of them.
correct?
Yeah,
No
he
refunds.
would. Well, we would share it.
Okay.
So both our pockets, 6 each.
So 6 apiece.
Yeah, 6, which would get you a whole Outback dinner back then. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So do you have any, maybe any leads on, hear chit chat of someone bragging about the murder?
Well, it
anything?
could have been. Yeah, he definitely upset people.
There were people bragging about murders everywhere.
Well, that's fair.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any examples?
That's, you walk in a bar, some guy was like, I killed that guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pretty cut and dry then.
Super cut. So dry, blood everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh, well, depends.
Have you killed anyone?
That sounds incriminating.
That does. We're here for other murders.
Sure,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. We're here to solve murders. Yeah.
That we are.
Well, now that we've hammered home the topic of this podcast, we got any final words you may have for us, Joe? Any thoughts that have been itching at you?
Well,
Bombshells.
Any,
Harvey loved beekeeping.
sure.
He lived beekeeping, and a lot of people think that it could have been his own bees.
They
Again, the
murdered him?
knife wounds.
Well, earlier you said
the glue in the
you made
glove.
a false statement.
I made a false. I'm sorry.
Bees can carry knives.
Bees can carry.
Oh, you're
Bees.
saying bees can.
Bees can carry knives.
In my defense, bees are not mammals. So
I don't know.
you don't know?
I'm not a scientist. I'm a lawyer.
The jury's out. On
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Kareem, thanks so much for coming on the
Hey,
podcast.
thank you guys for giving me a chance.
that one. Yeah.
See yourself out.
Yeah, well, I'm done.
Yeah, you're done. Go ahead and pick up a gift
Thank
bag
you.
on the way out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna hit that applause button.
Well, he had a medium amount to offer, I'd say.
I'd say so. I think we got a lot from him.
Right.
Because
Our suspicions were there for
Yeah.
maybe someone he had angered a
he'd
little bit.
angered, yeah, or his bees, of course. That's still.
That didn't even cross my mind.
He didn't. Well, he seemed confident. Cole.
At a last resort, I'll buy that an insect killed a man with a knife.
That's the outcome I'm hoping for. If
Well,
I'm being honest.
let's hope your hopes are wrong. But it was nice. It was nice that he confirmed.
I just hit the pun button, and it said "being honest" on the board. Like bees.
Great. Good for you, Jeffrey. At this point, I feel like there's nothing else to do but bring on our next guest.
I think so, yeah.
Hope we can build upon this. Wow, it's just,
Hope
I'm
so.
really excited. I'm
Yeah.
jazzed, Jeff.
All right, we'll go ahead and slap that applause.
Slap that applause
button.
button.
There we go. Just bang.
Where's the camera?
Oh,
So this is an audio only.
No, this is only audio. It's like microphones.
Yeah, like radio.
Radio. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, for our listeners, would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Jim Butter.
Oh.
Starting to see a trend here, Cole.
Yeah. Mr. Butter, how do you see yourself relating to this murder?
Mr. Milkstein,
Mm-hmm.
I was just a boy,
Okay.
so I've only got certain memories.
Okay.
But Mr. Milkstein was having an affair with my mother.
Oh
Oh my
my.
goodness.
Wow.
Milkstein with Mrs. Butter.
He sure did have a particular taste in people. Or is that the Wyoming thing? That's the Wyoming thing. Anyway.
I just want to remind you we're talking about my mother.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
And my father was the beekeeper in the town
Oh,
who also sold protective outfits
4 B's.
for bees.
Jeffrey, is this case solved? I don't know.
Do you think you have it figured out?
Well, if your father dabbled with both bees and bee protective suits.
Oh, my father was dead during the murder.
Oh,
Well.
so there you go, Cole.
Yeah, that's out the window.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That was just a fun fact.
It was just a fun fact,
Okay.
and it's how I'm related to this quote-unquote
Okay.
mystery.
Okay, sure. So you said it was an affair. I'm assuming your mother remarried because Harvey Milkstein was a single man.
I'm confused.
Well, you said that he had an affair with your mother.
Yes.
And it's only an affair when there's something being broken there, like relationship-wise.
I think we're going to disagree on the definition of affair.
So an affair
Oh, it could be like an affair,
is like an affair is anyone,
It was
any,
a sordid affair.
and an affair is any 2 people getting together.
That's an affair.
Then like
Okay.
so like a regular affair is an affair.
Yes. Oh, it's a long affair.
Okay. He's just old, Jeffrey.
He has memories from the 30s, so
Right.
They asked, hey, what are you doing today? And I said, I got an affair on the camera.
Okay.
so any event is also an affair.
An event is an affair.
Well, now that we have,
I gotta get to the bottom of this.
now that we've struck oil at the definition of affair, I think, so, are you saying that this affair may have had something to do with the murder, or this is just, it is a fact that we didn't know about
Yeah.
Harvey at the time?
So he was with your mother.
My mother said, you don't tell anyone about this affair.
Oh my.
And I said, Mom, what's an affair?
And oh, so she told you the really
She
bad
said an
stuff.
affair is anytime more than 2 people get together, then that would be an affair.
Did you say more than 2 people? At least 3.
I just again, I want to remind you, we're talking about my mother.
No, we got it. You're
So
sensitive.
there's certain areas, and I don't want any kind of insinuation about
Sure,
my mother.
we would never insinuate that, but we do want to know who the third person
Right.
was.
The third person,
Uh-huh.
well, she also said, don't tell anyone about Chief Alvarado.
There we go.
I think you just told us about Chief Alvarado.
How? 80 years I've kept that secret.
That's
80
the
years.
Wow. This is going to be
Sorry.
sent into everyone's collective pockets.
Well, no one can see
Sorry.
it, it's
Well,
fine.
they're gonna hear it.
They're gonna.
Radio.
Yeah.
Radio. Mr. Butter, you're chock full of good stuff. So Chief Alvarado.
Chief Alvarado.
Did you notice any hostility between this chief and Mr. Milkstein?
Oh, he hated Mr. Milkstein.
Oh.
He said he's always getting everybody off. I want more people in jail, and I'm only getting 50% of them. I don't know what that meant.
Okay. That might have to do with the coin flip.
Am I? Yeah. I'd say it's a solid bet there.
Yeah, Alvarado said 50%, I want 70, I want 80.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
He's only getting 50.
yeah, he's only getting exactly 50.
All right.
But he wasn't too angry to not participate in this menage a
Romantic
trois.
relations, yeah.
It's
It's an affair. It's a type of
the affair.
Fair.
The affair.
weekend.
I don't even know what that could mean. I mean,
Well, no, go to the movies.
In closing here, Mr. Butter, any connections you saw through this affair between your mother, the chief, and Harvey that perhaps could have led to a murder, like you said? Yes. Harvey was murdered, I don't know. That's why you're on this.
yeah, that's why you're on this true crime podcast.
I was told he
passed
died
away.
of the locust.
That's what they want you to think,
Yeah.
sir. We dig deep here.
We
at
dig
Pathway.
dip. Yeah,
Where was my mother?
we don't.
Where was your mother, too?
I have to go.
All right.
Oh!
Oh my.
Jim Butter fleeing the scene. Thank you for being on the podcast. And you're just making this real awkward.
Enjoy your whatever affair you're attending at.
Ice cream.
Ice
That's a
cream
good
affair.
affair. That's a good affair.
All right, we're gonna go to the
hit the applause for
There
Mr.
we go.
Butter. Okay. Now, right off the bat, we thought his dad did it.
Yeah.
And then,
But it turns out he was dead, and whether that was not possible unless he did so as a ghost.
but
Which,
he seemed unsure of himself when it came to the location of his mother.
his
on
mother was
June
not
13th.
around. We also learned that Captain
Alvarado.
was involved maybe in this relationship, but certainly
He had a bone to pick.
he had a bone to pick with our lawyer.
What was his name, Jeffrey?
Our good buddy lawyer, you know.
His name was Harvey.
Yeah, his name was Harvey and Milstein.
His name was Harvey Milstein, and he needs to be avenged.
You're gonna avenge him?
But there are a
Avengers Endgame.
few last notes we have yet to go through. Now that we know Mrs. Butter is involved, we sort of need to backtrack on her history.
Sure.
While we take a moment to do that, we're gonna throw to our advertiser, who we greatly appreciate helping us fund this little crime endeavor.
Exactly.
Can I get a one-word suggestion for an ad?
Box fan.
What was that?
Box fan.
Box van.
Box fan.
Box fan. You ever see a box and you wish oh so badly?
Oh, that you could be a fan of that box.
I want to be your #1 fan, Box.
I want to follow you around the country and watch you perform.
Well, welcome to
Box Fanatics.
Box Fanatics. Box Fanatics is the #1 supplier of real cool boxes.
They have boxes shaped like cubes.
They have boxes. They have boxes shaped like rectangles, wouldn't you say?
I would not say that because rectangle is a two-dimensional shape, and I would say they have rectangular prisms.
I'm not here to debate what a box is directly.
No, I'm just reading the ad copy.
You are. You're just some good ad copies.
Yeah.
They get me thinking.
They do.
And that's what they want to do to you at
They
Box
want to
Fanatics.
get you thinking. Some people see a box and they say, that's trash.
Some people say a box and say, will you marry me?
Yeah, and this is for neither of those people.
This is not for neither.
No.
Yeah.
This is for people that want
Go
to
sign up for box fuckers.
Yeah. There's a market for it.
There's a market for those type of boxes.
Box Fuckers is also a sponsor of this podcast.
Box fuckers. But Box Fanatic, cut and dry, they're here if you want to worship a box, be their fan.
Yeah, they'll take it around the country.
Yeah, you'll follow it, be
You'll
its
follow it.
groupie.
You'll tell your friends about it. Post pictures.
The person from Box Fanatic that moves it around is also willing to shake it around real fast if you want to like record a boomerang.
Sure,
and
yeah,
put it on
and then
Instagram.
the box will do this.
Jeffrey is currently twisting from side to side in a repeat motion, like a boomerang.
Like a boomerang.
If you use the promo code MISOBOXY at checkout, you'll get your first month for 50% off that box's price.
Which is just at 50% off is a great deal.
It's a great deal. I recommend at 50% off, go for that diamond box.
I say go for the diamond box, and that's also 50% off, that'll cost you only roughly around $2,000 after the discount.
Yeah.
It's a big service,
Yeah.
Cole. They are
Box
traveling
Fanatic,
country.
promo code MISOBOXY. Thanks for sponsoring the podcast. And we're back.
We just did so much research.
Wowie, wow.
Wow.
Jeff, you're sweating.
Yeah, I went for to work out in the break.
Yeah. So sometimes we say it'll be just a moment, and then we go our separate ways for a matter of months even.
Yeah. So.
And then we come back to whatever day the third guest scheduled, and we just sort of try to bang this one out.
I'd say about a week in between, right?
Yeah. This one had about a week in between the break. And in that time, we have found that Mrs. Butter was interviewed by the police. Don't know how we missed that, Jeff.
No, she wasn't interviewed, although it was a very confusing interview because she just, she would refer to all events as affairs, and the police could not give any clear story.
And by police, we mean the one Wyoming policeman who also doubled as the state's doctor. There are very few professions to be had at that time, but he tried his darndest. And halfway through the page, he just starts writing someone a prescription for Adderall.
Yeah.
He clearly, ended the interview because he had somewhere to be, or he wrote Mrs. Butter just a random prescription. Who are we to say? But we do have our third guest that's about to come in. They said they had a sort of a big-ish bomb to drop.
A big bombshell. It's going to blow this case.
We hope.
Smithereens.
We hope that this case will just become ashes after they blow through here. So let's go ahead and slap that applause button, Jeffrey. And
I want to like lean into the applause and see if we can kind of build up applause.
Fade up there.
Yeah, fade up. I'll just use the fader.
Thank you for coming on Passed Away.
Hi there.
Hey, welcome.
I should say, this is my typewriter.
Oh.
Wonderful.
My name is Ethel.
Hi.
Ethel Bacon.
Ethel Bacon. You know what?
It's a very common name from Wyoming.
You don't know it, but we've had a lot of dairy themes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
No.
Not surprised. It is Wyoming.
Well, I feel like I should say that this is my typewriter.
Okay.
So I worked at the courthouse as
the typist.
Yeah.
Stenographer?
Typist.
In Wyoming, we just called it the typey person.
Okay.
That's how the 30s were, huh?
That's exact. I just sat there and I went typey.
Wow, and I can see that has that cool. It's not just a straightforward.
The gray panels that you.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is this is the one that I use.
Okay.
So it has no more sound.
Oh.
So I have to make the sound. I have to go type.
Yeah, it's so well oiled it doesn't even click anymore.
And does the sound benefit the use of the typewriter?
It helps me.
Oh.
You see, when I feel like a lot of people didn't bring a lot of passion to the job.
Sure.
I am 97.
Okay.
My voice is so youthful. I just.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
I had some work done on my vocal
cords.
cords.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Our listeners at home may guess you're, what about 18, 17, 19?
Just the best 18-year-old
18.
that you could meet.
That's what your voice sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It was my favorite age.
But of course you are very close to the century mark, and so we don't want to take up too much of your precious twilight years.
Sure.
And we're just very interested to know this big bomb you mentioned beforehand on the Harvey Milkstein case.
Well, Harvey was a dear friend.
Okay.
It's very sad that he left us so early.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I noticed a few things. The first thing is the bees. I'm gonna make my own little note.
Okay, please. There you go.
I wrote down bees.
Okay.
So bees were the first thing.
Okay.
They were everywhere. Like you would just see them, like you'd be in the courtroom and you'd be going tappy, tappy, tappy. I wrote bees again. And then you just see one fly in.
Wow, so locusts all on the outside. Bees.
And I can tell you that it hasn't changed.
It's still that way?
I visited my daughter there, and it's actually the opposite. Now the locusts are inside.
Oh, the
Bees have found themselves outside.
Wow.
You know, that's why when you look at Wyoming from a Google Maps satellite, it's just a thick cloud over it. You can't see anything of
It's
it.
really
Yeah.
ruined the city.
And were you at the courthouse because your daughter has followed in your footsteps, or was I don't want to presume?
Oh no. My daughter has gone to a very sinful business.
Oh wow.
What, could you maybe
A
share that?
business of maybe selling one's body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a performance artist.
What
And
sort of performance is she?
It's just the most disgusting and revolting thing that a mother could see. It's just regular dance.
Oh,
Nothing
okay.
special.
So nothing.
That's why it's
It's
horrible.
just loud techno music.
Okay. You were really hyping it up like maybe she's, you know, like a prostitute, maybe. That's what she was hyping. Okay, well, I'm gonna ask on Twitter later if people were thinking that.
I drove down here in my truck.
You are still driving.
Wonderful and terrifying.
2020.
Well,
Her eyes looked in two different directions.
What are you talking about? If people didn't see, I crossed my eyes for comedic effect. I still have a sense of humor.
They went back to normal when she tried to cross them.
But I came on this. I drove down here from Wyoming.
Yes.
I'm sorry for being a little.
Because I
aggressive.
visited and then I moved back.
Oh, okay.
Just to connect the dots. And I offered my sweet little time.
yes.
Oh, yeah, no.
Please.
Yeah.
No, you just called my daughter a prostitute.
I didn't say that. I implied
Great,
that
talk
you
to
were.
me. Ethel,
Okay.
talk to me.
That's a fair point.
Talk-
Okay, I like
Girl
your
household.
scarf.
Thank you so much.
It reminds me of the 30s.
Lots of scars in the 30s, eh?
Oh my god.
The Depression was on, and so were the scars. But-
If you had a scarf, you weren't as poor as some people that didn't have scarves.
It was a status symbol.
It
I
was
guess,
a
yeah.
status symbol.
So, Great Depression aside, you were
Great.
you were starting on the bees in the courthouse. How does this connect you to the Harvey murder?
So every time that Harvey would, take the stand and I'd be going tappy, tappy, tappy,
Yes.
which is the sound that one makes when they type.
No, you told me.
I have that memory.
Oh, okay.
There would be more than one that would be around his head, and they would just come and they would kind of sit on his shoulder like a bird,
Okay.
as if it was being called to him. And it was very odd because everyone after the case would go into the bathroom and just drink coffee and say, how were those bees there? Where did they come from? Why wasn't it a locust? A lot of the questions back then were, why aren't things locusts? So I would like to throw into the ring that the bees did kill him.
Cole, that's 2 for the bees.
So you're saying the bees landed on him not out of friendship, but out of hatred?
Plotting, maybe?
Memorizing his body so they know where to stab?
That would make
I
sense.
never
Bees
even thought
have
of
built-in
that.
knives.
I never even thought of that. I don't even know if I don't even know if I should say it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you should. Be much more interesting.
How about I type it
All right.
and then I read it?
I think that works. You can do that. Oh my.
Not even. It's so well oiled. There wasn't even a ding.
It's a dead type.
Okay. Oh.
Please, Ed.
Type, type. Make the sounds.
Yeah. She forgot that she told us.
Tap, tap, tap.
You don't make the dings.
Ding.
Okay.
Just a long statement.
I've kept this secret for years.
Really? And so we've got a exclusive on the podcast.
What's that?
It's an exclusive. It's exclusive.
Call it exclusive. How old are you?
Plenty. I'm old enough.
We'll come back to this later
We'll come back
after
to
the
this later.
podcast. I'm gonna buy you 2 dinner.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
It's Wyoming hospitality.
We're waiting with bated breath.
So Basically, I didn't type this out well, so I'm just gonna say it.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
Basically, what happened was there was this bee house that Harvey kept, Harvey Milkstein
Mm-hmm.
kept behind his house.
Okay.
And people would go back there at night and throw alcohol parties with those bees. Remember how alcohol wasn't allowed?
Yeah.
But it was again by the 30s.
Not in Wyoming.
Whoa!
Wow, it was a dry city.
A dry city
The
state.
locust drank all the alcohol that was
Oh my
available.
God.
It was a drunken rage why they
Yeah.
flew upon.
So people would go to these alcohol bee parties and drink, and I heard that there was some just drunken behavior of stabbing, because bees can hold knives like locusts can, just stabbing, affairs.
We'll never know what that means.
We'll never know.
Do you not know what affairs?
No, we know. Keep going.
Because I can.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
Okay. So apparently Harvey got very drunk one night,
Sure.
and he got into a fight with one of the bees.
Oh my God. Well, these bees were drunk. They were prone to violence, maybe.
This was the leader bee.
So the queen bee. Okay.
I call it the leader bee.
Sure.
So I wasn't there to see it, but it was apparently bee blood.
So he had a vendetta with at least one particular bee.
Well, it was the leader
The
bee.
leader
Right.
bee, which is like you pick a fight with the queen bee.
And she was a gossiper, let me tell you.
Okay.
So she went around and told she went around and told all the other bees.
Uh-huh.
I'm not crazy.
No, we
We don't say.
We don't think that.
You called your daughter a
He
prostitute.
thinks she doesn't remember that, Cole.
And now I'm having a little bit of a problem with you. I'm
Oh.
starting to lean towards
She likes
that.
me.
We gotta wrap this up.
I mean, old people take a long time to tell stories.
That's a
So
good point. I like how clear you are on your abilities. It's
I'm definitely nice.
yeah.
So there was a fight between everybody. He was like, we need to get Harvey, he's a scumbag, he's go get him. So then these bees one by one came into the court during for the number of weeks it accumulated, and then there was just more bees, and then one day there were bees just covering him, just like all over his body, but they weren't stinging him. I saw this, and I will let you know that I was on a heavy dose of Prozac.
Oh my.
And it definitely did not temper with anything.
Well, Ethel, thanks so much for
Thank you
coming
so
on.
much. Wonderful.
Do you want to keep the notes that I?
Sure.
Sure.
We'll keep those.
Do you want me to write
Thank
a
you.
copy for you?
We'll
make a
photocopies.
I'm just gonna leave this here.
The typewriter?
Yeah. We're going out to
That's
dinner
fine.
later, so
We are
we'll-
gonna go out to dinner
Okay.
later. Waffle House.
Oh, good.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ethel.
Ethel Bacon, everybody. My stars, Jeff.
I'm gonna throw this back here.
Yeah, wherever it lands, it's fine. So that did give us some facts I wasn't expecting.
Sure.
I
I have a theory, Cole.
also have a theory.
All right, I want your theory first.
Okay.
This is
but-
the moment, our loyal listeners know what that sound means.
It means it's time to try to solve this bad boy.
Yeah. Cole has a
You want me
theory,
to
I
go
have
first?
a theory. They may be the same theory.
I think there were photographs taken of the body that we're looking at right here. It'll be put up on our website.
On our Patreon.
Our
specifically,
Patreon,
Yeah. So you can go ahead and.
If you're donating up to $5 a month, you'll be able to see this.
Sure.
If you aren't, then you just go to a Wyoming website. It's public information.
Yeah.
We're just putting a paywall in front of it. Looking at this, I know the coroner may have said knife wounds, but I'm starting to think, I still don't think it's logical that a bee can hold a knife, Jeff. But what I do think is logical, and let me finish here, I think this swarm of bees, one by one, stabbed the same spot in his body so that it went so deep that it looked as if a knife entered his body, but instead it was, I don't know, 4,000 bee stings in the
Okay.
same spot.
Can I give a build on to that?
Yes.
So the bees, maybe they were all stabbing at the same time, or maybe they turned into a knife. Like they collectively formed a knife.
like in Finding Nemo.
Like in Finding Nemo. They stabbed him in the back. They stabbed him in the back.
They just used they made the shape, and then they were like, because we're this shape, it'll work like a knife.
Yeah, and then to get away, they turned into a functioning automobile and drove away.
Well, you know what, Jeff? I have this shining nickel here.
Oh yeah, we all know what that means.
Heads means I'm right. Tails means you're right.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
The adhesive in the suit was bee honey.
It was bee honey.
It had to have been bee honey, I think.
You're a smart feller, Jeff.
Thank you.
We'll keep you around. Call it.
Heads.
Looks like they formed a giant knot.
Oh, we did.
That's our show, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for our guests, Tom, Maggie, and Michael. Like our page, Passed Away, Improvised True Crime Podcast on Facebook.
You make us so happy.
Well, we'll close out the show. Don't worry about it. Night, everybody. Good night.